Om Tat Sat. My humble prostrations to the all pervading Brahman, to my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayanandaji Maharaj, to the Divine Mother, to all sages and saints, and to each of you, divine soul, watching today's satsang. So, today we will be covering the mysticism of Devi Mahatmya. Commentaries by my Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananji, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So let's get started on the part 3 of the aspect of the Divine Mother, all pervasive Mother. So the demons, whose evil aspects are so colorfully described in the scriptures. If we have seen movies, you will see the gods showering flowers and the fight between the demons and the gods all the time. So demons represent the forces of darkness that is hidden in every human being. And who are these demons? They are attachment, hatred, pride, conceit, egoism, jealousy, greed, passion, and then many other vices that arise out of ignorance. And we can introspect that some of these demons, or many of them, depending on what state of mind we are in, bother us from time to time. And the gods, with their graceful forms that are moving in aerial cars and sporting out in the heavenly gardens, throwing flowers at us, represent the forces of light that are operating through every being in the form of love, compassion, patience, selflessness, purity, renunciation, fearlessness, detachment, discrimination, and other virtues that spring from wisdom and from illumination. So that is the metaphor. These stories, Puranas, etc., are allegorical. So we have to understand the deeper meanings, and that's what Swami Jyotirmayanandaji, is explaining in his commentary in such a wonderful way for us. How does the Universal Mother intervene in the battles of the two forces and bring about the victory of light over darkness? This has been most figuratively and mystically described in the stories of the Devi. And that's what this whole scripture is about, Devi Mahatmya. Those who have insight into human life and into the divine force that operates through it will marvel at the exquisite intuitional vision of the sages who, full of compassion, presented to the world these stories of the Devi to help these spiritual aspirants in the world so they can also get out of this pit of ignorance. So, stories that are garbled in excellent poetic language and ornamented with mystic imagery that make her battles with the demons so fascinating for an aspirant. So, this is our journey also. Just as the goddess manifests in the external universe as the destroyer in the form of Durga, as the grantor of prosperity in the form of Lakshmi, and as the bestower of talent, creativity, and knowledge in the form of Saraswati, even so she manifests internally in each individual as the terrible Durga for the removal of our obstacles, as the graceful Lakshmi for the revival of divine qualities, and as the luminous Saraswati to bring illumination and dispel the darkness of avidya or ignorance. So, from the spiritual point of view, every event is a wave in the absolute, because it eventually, the wave goes back and merges into the absolute. The external and internal aspects are forms of the absolute itself. So to those who have acquired spiritual vision, the world is nothing but Brahman or the absolute. But those souls are very rare. Our Guruji is one of those rare souls, since he's an enlightened master, while the rest of us are trying to get and touch that feeling of enlightenment and to forever terminate the cycle of life and death. But those who have achieved it, they see only God, only Brahman. They are full of knowledge and wisdom, and they see this world as transient. Whereas the people who are on the other side of the fence, or who are completely materialistic, will only see the world in its avidya aspect or maya aspect. So they are free. These souls who are enlightened are free from any battle because they are established in non-duality. For them the battle is over. There is no dark night or dawn or bright morning. They are in the sun, so therefore they are only seeing light everywhere. Because of our frail and finite intellects, we have no right to deny the historicity of the great descriptions of the heroic acts of the Devi. Just because we are under illusion doesn't mean that these things don't exist. They do, but we have to have a sensitive mind, intellect, and maturity to understand the depth of these scriptures. And the same thing is discussed in the Srimad Bhagavatam also, where an average person who does not have enough maturity or sensitivity would tend to misunderstand some of the interpretations of these Puranas and scriptures. However, all these marvels are but little in comparison to what the Divine Mother is doing in every moment of our existence. The world, with all its indescribable beauty, gives only a mere hint of the glory and majesty of the Mother. See how beautifully every butterfly is painted with exquisite colors. Look at the flower, look at the sunset, look at the ocean. Everything in nature is represented by Mother's grace. You can imagine then how glorious and how beautiful the real Mother must be, that Mother who's making all these things happen for us. So we now proceed to give you a condensed narration of the stories of the glorious deeds of the Devi and her esoteric, deeper mystical meaning, so that you may pursue the most meaningful form of Devi Puja or worship of the Cosmic Mother. So we will start the story tomorrow. Om Tat Sat.